Hey guys, Griffin here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So we received a request to go and review the Gouf Custom, the high-grade 1/144th version. And fortunately, I don't have that kit. I do have the older 1998 version though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and, while I'm reviewing this guy, I'm going to talk about the differences that show up on the newer HGUC version that I think, came out in like 2008 or 2006, sometime in between there. And just to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect if you do go and purchase that kit. So right off the bat here, we just have the standard MSO7 B3 Gouf Custom, complete with his Gatling gun shield, shoulder spikes, and then the optional heat whip on the right arm there. So let's just jump right in and start talking about posability wise. As far as posability, he's not really able to move his legs. As you can see, his whole torso and front skirt is just one giant assembly, and it really limits how he's able to move his legs. Unlike on the newer version, the side skirt armor completely moves. The front skirt armor does not have much mobility because of the front power pipes there being locked into place, similar to on this version. His legs on here are a lot more like a first grade. You can see they just literally snap together. There's no inner construction. It's just on this one, it's just a PC, just a poly cap right there for that leg joint, and then it's another poly cap right there for an ankle. Unlike on the newer HGUC version, which has the inner construction more akin to some of the newer like Zaku, similar to maybe like the Zaku F2, or even, possibly even the standard HGUC Gouf. This guy is able to almost turn his head. His snout gets a little bit in the way there. If you move the shoulders, though, he's able to spin it completely. Shoulder pads flare up like most Zakus or Goufs do. His arms, because of his shoulder pads, has a little bit of trouble bending them out. And then the same thing over here on the Gatling gun side. Now, one thing that this one does not have, since the torso is essentially one solid construction, he does not get that shoulder blade movement that a lot of newer kits have, where they're able to kind of flex their arm outward or back inward. Once again, that's just because this one is an older, he's a 18-year-old kit now. And that's just something they didn't have back then. So once again, the newer kit does have that feature. Oh, sorry guys. And then same thing on the hips here. It is very good. It's just one solid construction here, so you don't get a lot of the mobility. You just get to kind of gently twist, which doesn't really provide a whole lot of posing options for him. Now, next up we've got the accessories here. So on his left arm, he's got the very typical Gouf shield with Gatling gun. And this one comes molded in all one very ugly black-gray color. Unlike the newer version comes very similar to the master grade version, where the shield is done in it's the regular Gouf shield, and then it has the black attachment points for the Gatling gun equipment. So that way you can either display it with just the shield, or if you want to have the Gatling gun components or some parts of that on there, you can. Now, the sword that comes with this does come out and sheathed just like the regular Gouf version, or the newer Gouf version, sorry. And Gatling gun does go and build right onto there, very similar to the newer version as well. And then all this does go and, let's see if I can get it here, just kind of pop into his arm, little arm cannon that he's got going on there. And I've got pieces flying left and right over here trying to get this guy's shield off. It's very stubborn. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I managed to get that off. So he does have the regular little kind of arm Vulcan there. Now, this one, once again, is obviously 18 years old now, so as you can see, some of the little pore marks there that came off the runner are not ideal. Yeah, this kit's incredibly dated. I'm going to be very, very blunt about that. I really kind of regret buying this version. I got him because he was $7, and at the time I was like, yeah, $7, that's not bad for a high grade. I now see why. I would much rather have the newer HGUC version. The HGUC version comes with, it's either a sticker or a little, like a kind of Zaku scope insert that some of the Master Gates come with for the Vulcan right there on the scope. It has a movable scope, which this one doesn't. It's all just one solid construction. And then it's got a little, like kind of bottom kind of toggle switch there. So next up on his right arm, he's got the standard like Zaku heat whip. So he's got the solid block fill-in if you don't want to display the heat whip, and then he comes with the like attachment to go and pop that in there. So you just go and pop that in. It's just a standard PVC and peg, or sorry, polycab, not PVC. Polycab construction, and then he can go and display his heat whip. And the heat whip, just like the newer version, is still just a metal wire with kind of like a black rubber coating on it, and it's got the little heat whip bit there. One of the biggest things that is a huge setback with this kit compared to the newer version is the newer version has kind of like a couple slots in his shoulder that will go, and so he can hold up his Gatling gun without it eventually kind of slowly falling down like mine does. Once again, this one, with it being older, it is just the standard, almost very similar to a first grade. You have a peg, you have a poly cap there in the arm, put the peg on the poly cap, and bam, you got an arm. So this version, if you go with this one, will slowly droop down over time. You might not see it at first, and I tried to kind of finagle it and display it like that. It'll still eventually just droop because it is just a polycap connection there in both joints. It has zero friction. Now what you could do is you could probably paint it on this one, and that might go and help, but I think a lot of it is just due to the weight displacement and just the general design of the 1998 version, and it's not ideal for trying to display the Gatling gun. So if you're going to go with that version, with the newer one, I'd highly recommend it. That's I'd say it gets the Gunpla Griffin seal of approval there. I mean, and then accessory-wise, this guy really doesn't have a lot. He's got his sword, he's got obviously the Gatling shield, the hand Vulcan, and then the heat whip. He has his right holding hand, his left holding hand. Now this one comes with the like basic Gouf kind of finger Vulcans, which I believe the newer one does not come with, but I can't really imagine why you want to display them with the left hand finger Vulcan, especially when you've got this fucking badass Gatling cannon right there on his arm. And this one also comes with the basic Gouf shield once again. Not really sure what they were thinking there with that. I mean, I'd much rather have the Gatling shield there. And then he does come with a second left holding hand. I believe this one is to hold the sword, from what it looks like. Yeah, this one's either for holding the sword or trying to manipulate the Gatling gun assembly there into his left arm, which is a little odd. Now, I will present another option if you guys want a really cool Gouf Custom. I'd recommend the Robot Damashii version. I believe Robot Damashis are typically a little bit smaller than these guys by about half an inch, but what the Robot Damashii version comes with is a second like Gatling gun for his right arm there. So what you can then go and do is, I've seen them display with like both, and he'll either have like both of them crossed in a really cool way, or just kind of hulking them out there almost. I've even seen like people do like kind of like a gorilla kind of thing where he's like leaning on them and then just looking up. Really cool. But that one's really cool. I'll post a picture here in the over on this side here, upper left hand side of the Robot Damashii, and then I will post a picture over here with the newer HGUC Gouf Custom. just so that way you guys can kind of see all three of them in one side and just get a quick little idea of what they all look like just at a glance. So, for a final verdict, I don't recommend this version, especially for how cheap the newer HGUC one is. The newer HGUC one on Amazon right now, as of May, gosh, what's today? 12th, I believe. 10th or 12th. Anyway, is about $15 with free shipping on Amazon. And for $15, that's a hell of a price. And especially for such a solid model like the Gouf Custom, I'd highly recommend picking that up. Especially rather than the older 18-year-old version now. So definitely go with the newer HGUC or check out their Damashii version. So, anyway, guys, that's been this episode. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. That way you guys can find out immediately when I have a new video up. All this week I'm looking to have a new video up until Sunday, and then I'm looking at resuming the Monday and Friday upload schedule with potentially Wednesdays in there as well. So remember, guys, leave a comment. Any recommendations are greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.